Okay, so what makes me valuable? And what do I think value is to me? And apart from what society says, value meaning how much you're worth and what do you have and what can you do, how am I valuable? It's a thought. I need to really contemplate that, because based upon what I just said, then value means because I am. Just because I am in existence means that I'm valuable. Because I'm me. That's my value. And then I ponder, is that enough? Is that enough? Just being me? Just being in existence? Is that valuable? And it's definitely difficult to separate your value from your haves, your how much, and so on, because we're so tied into this system of money system, financial system, and approval of people, and based upon what you have and how you look, that it's unfathomable to perceive value based on just being. Like, how is that possible? That I'm valued just because I am. So that is something that I'm pondering on and really assessing to see, okay, I am valuable despite being approved, despite being liked, despite looking like a supermodel, despite having a slim body, despite not having money and so and so. I am valuable. This is a new trajectory for me. It's rooted in who I am. And who am I? That's the next question. Who am I? Who am I really? Am I my looks? Am I the things that I do? It's a representation of me. It's a representation of what I feel on the inside and what I think of me. But who truly am I without the ideas and thoughts of society, of the people in my surroundings? Who truly am I? So that leads to a deeper question. Who am I? Am I the career that I chose? Am I the money that I have? Am I even the person I think I am? Who am I? Who do I think I am? I think I'm, this overweight 55-year-old black woman, now no money and, doesn't have any prospects or anything like this. So I am what I call myself. I am this is the perception of what I think I am. But is that truly me? No, it is not. It is not me. The true essence of me goes into more of a metaphysical thought process, doesn't it? If you want to go that. Am I what I see? Am I who I even think I am? Because my thoughts are just a conglomerate of experiences and thought process and point of view based on society. But who am I really? Who am I really? What do I really truly possess? That's not something I can answer right now. I'm just contemplating this thought process. and really diving into essence of meaning of life. Because when you really look at it, when you ask who is the I am is based upon what adjective we've placed behind the am. And so if we are what we're saying that I am, based upon what, and the adjectives come from experiences, point of view, thought processes, but our point of view is relative to circumstances. The circumstances of life right now it's not favorable. It's not the best. So I am where I think I am at this time in life. But what about several years back when I was very profitable, when I was living the life of a traveler? Did I change from that? Wasn't that I am? So if our am is fluid, then can we change the I am? Obviously. And is the I am just based upon what we feel and think at the moment in our lives, the circumstances of our lives? We take on the perception that I am lacking, that I am empty, based upon what is actually happening in our lives. But what is actually happening in our lives does not constitute who we are. It's not who we are. It's just what's happening in our lives. What is our point of view? We have to change the point of view. I am not in lack. I am not empty. I just am experiencing this based upon my season in life at the moment. That's not who I am. So if we are not our circumstances and even our thought processes, who are we? Who are we really? So we're very fluid. If we look at it in this way, we're rather fluid form in that we become and be who we say we are. Now, if we say we are based upon the circumstances of life, then we're constantly having to live out that cycle. Or is it possible to say that we are something despite the circumstances of life, or rather what life or who we want to be or are, based no matter what the circumstances of life, if you follow me? In other words, despite me going through a financial problem and me stating that I am empty and financially I am in lack, I could thereby change that and say, I'm merely experiencing lack, but that is not who I am. Who I am is abundance. And I can call forth who I am as abundance, because when you look at who you really are you a substance? Are you a matter? Or are you a spiritual thought form? Are you a mental consciousness thought form? Because it appears that that's what we are. Because if we, despite what we're going through, say we are different, we become different. Isn't that what the metaphysical scientists are saying, right? What we perceive of ourselves is what we are. But despite our perception, there's an underlying, the fact that we can be so fluid means there's something beyond that thought process, that perception. We are that water that can be manipulated in any form based upon thought. So, what are we really? What are we? What essence are we? What can we define ourselves as? Truly, 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 beyond the thought, beyond the experience, beyond the perception. So some people call it consciousness, some people call it God, some people call it the universe, energy. We really need to identify that.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. So I'm taking my leisurely walk right now as I contemplate. But I think that we are far more than we have come to know, and that we need to know. Because we are not our thoughts, we are not our perceptions, we are not our experiences even. Even our memories are very fluid. Things are not matter. They're not solid. They're very fluid consciousness. So if things on the outside of us are very fluid consciousness, that means we are much more than even consciousness itself. Who is the perceiver? What is the perceiver? Do you understand what I'm going at? I don't know if I'm explaining this correctly, where I'm trying to explain, because it's so abstract. It's so very abstract what I'm trying to explain. And I'm sure many gurus have explained it better, but I'm just now knowing it, seeing it for myself, and trying to explain it in this limited form of wording. But yeah, so when it comes down to practical applications of who am I have to say that I know that I am not my thoughts. I am not my perception. I'm not my experiences. I am not where I am right now. Where I am and what's happening to me does not define who I am. Good morning. Cute. So, yes. So that is very eye-awakening. It's a Thursday, April 28th, I believe, 2026. And I just want to document. My podcast is mainly a documentation of what's downloads, the perception, the thoughts I'm having, the experiences I'm having. And this is revelatory for me in the sense that, okay, let's not connect myself to my reality right now. That's not me. That is not me. That's who I'm saying I am, but it's not truly who I am. Who am I then? And who can I decide to be who I am, or is there something that I truly am in matter? Like, am I solid or am I fluid? So let's see. Let me dive in and see. Am I, despite my financial situation right now, I'm not lacking. I'm not empty. I'm not impoverished. That's not who I am. That's my circumstance, my financial circumstance. But who am I? If I can I decide to be something else other than my circumstance? Like, because my circumstance does not define who I am. So, who am I despite my circumstance? I am peace. I am abundance, because I was abundant several years back when I traveled the world. Why can't I be abundant then? What made me abundant? I can be abundance. That's who I am. I am essence. I am essence. I am consciousness. I am who I say I am. I am. Back to value again. I am. Just that I am. Just that I am. I don't have to put a label to it. I don't have to define it. I don't have to say an affirmation. I just am. I am just experiencing. I am perceiving. I am feeling. I am thinking. Do you understand? I just am. There's no label like I am abundance, I am freedom. No, I am. Because I was when I was abundant, and I still am when I'm not abundant. I am. Who does God say He is? The I am. Not the I am God, no, I am. That's who we are truly, the I am. We are just. We are. And that's all that needs to be identified. Just we are. We are perceiving. We are being. We are. We are. The things that are happening to us, the things we're perceiving, life, how we look at the trees and hear the birds, how we are experiencing sorrow and joy, it's just I am. It's just I am. Having lack and having prosperity, it's life. It's just the process. It's the I am. It's the I am. And if you put something behind the I am, then that's who you are. But if you relinquish labeling yourself and just be the I am, then that's who you are. So who we are is who we say we are. And can you imagine the freedom of not labeling yourself and saying, I am joy, I am this, and then having to meet up to that criteria, especially when you're feeling not joy, when you're feeling lack, But you don't have to live up to any standards, even requirements of a feeling, of emotion. Oh, I have to be a believer. I have to think positively. I have to affirm. If I'm going through lack, I say I'm not lacking. I need to say that. I need to affirm differently. But how is it possible to not have to do all that and just know and just be? Can you imagine just that simple phrase changes everything. Changes everything. I am. That's it. I don't have to believe to be strong. I don't have to believe to be prosperous in abundance. I don't have to believe this. I don't have to believe that. I am. And just be still and know that the I am is God. The I am, just that alone, is God. And being still in your psyche, in your nervous system, to be okay with just knowing that you are the I am. Just know that. Just be that. Just not stress yourself out and manifesting such great things, but knowing internally that you don't feel that, you don't think that. And that's okay. Why? Because we are not those emotions. We are not those thoughts. That is not who we are. We are the I am. The essence of meditating is to be still internally in our mindset, in our conscious, just knowing that all things, good or bad, indifference or not, is just passing through. Just let it pass. Just let it be. Just let it be. Just let it pass. It's not real. It's very fluid. Just be the I am. Just be still in that knowledge of the I am. That is God. That is where we sit still in knowing. Let's sit right there in that thought. I am. I am everything and nothing. I am the Alpha, the Omega. I just am. I don't need to be positive. I don't need to say words of affirmations other than I am. I'm not associated with my circumstance. That is not me. I'm not associated with the thought behind the circumstance. That is not me. I'm not associated with the perception of who I am based upon my experiences and my thoughts. That is not me. I am just witnessing it. I'm just, wow, that's interesting. Oh, this is experience. Wow. But I am. Hear me. It's not your fault. Let go of the stress. Let go of the anxiety. The purpose of inspirational thought and having knowledge and being exposed to the gurus and Neville Goddard and Joel Osteen, all of these people, they mean well. I mean, the knowledge of manifestation, the knowledge of is all good, but it has to be circumstantial, not even circumstantial, but it has to be rooted in our psyche. Knowledge is just knowledge unless it is developed, ingraded in our psyche. We have to vet the information we have to vet it within our own personhood, within our own psyche. And so sometimes we're provided too much information. I remember that before the term manifestation was a thing, back in earlier years, we manifested naturally. Is that manifestation is something that happens? It occurs based upon who you say you are. So before that ever was a thing, I was always a person to contemplate, to really evaluate, to really look and dissect my thoughts and emotions. And I was always saying Conversations with God. Do you remember that book, Conversations with God? That came at a point in my life where I was having conversations with God. And that book kind of revealed the fact that the thoughts that I was having, I was like, oh, how did I brought this book into me, because that's where I was in my life. You understand? So things were manifesting and taking place all because of where I was in life and what I was doing internally in my life to bring these things to me. But right now, with the knowledge, we're now focusing on the outcome of what we do internally. And we're trying to focus on manifesting the house, manifesting the car, manifesting the loved one. That is not manifestation. That is not the true spiritual work. The true spiritual work is how we personally, internally dissect the information and really become it and really know it for ourselves. And we have looked into our lives and looked into our character, because it all boils down with who you are. It all boils down to your identity, and meaning who you think you are and how you feel and What are your thought processes? What is your point of view on matters? That's where it boils down to. And that's what we really need to focus on. Because then you will just call into your life what exactly you need based on what you have evaluated, i.e. the I am has seen. I answer you before you even ask. Why? Because you have contemplated your identity. You have contemplated those emotions, and you've rested in stillness, knowing that you are the I am, and thereby calling things into your life that you need to experience. Do you understand? So I want to be the one to tell you that it's not affirmations, it's not your emotions, it's not your fault. I think we have been, sometimes knowledge is not good because it comes too far ahead of where we are. Do you understand? Everything is out there now for you to just take in, but not truly everything is for you at that time. And we kind of like have to turn off everything, stop, and just go within and really deal with who we are and what we think we are, and ask these questions and be contemplative. You are so cute. You're so cute. So so that's where manifestation starts. And I don't like to use that word. I don't like to. I've gotten caught up in these videos as well, and just doing strategies or techniques to manifest these things, manifest money, especially when you're in such a lack. You're experiencing, I'm not saying you are, you're experiencing lack, you want to do these things, but quite frankly, the reason why we are experiencing lack is because of our thought process, and we've called it into our lives due to the fact of our belief system and aligning ourselves with that experience, calling it us. So the reason we have lack in financially is because we think that we are lacking personally. We've associated ourselves, our being, with lack. Therefore, energy can only but recreate itself into our lives, right? And consistently, very consistent. So we call that manifestation, but it's just a reflection and a recreation of us, because we are the I am. We are creating this. So we need to stop looking at the end in the sense of the manifestation is not about a car, a house, a person. It's about the changing, the alchemy that happens within our own thought process, within our own being. So let's redirect this information, shall we? And I think that I will definitely attempt my part in helping people do so, because this is where we are lacking. So I hope this has been helpful. If it has been helpful, let me know. Let me know if this is what you think you need, or what others would need to hear. I guess it's a little validation in a sense, but give me a comment, text me, write me, whatever it is, wherever platform you're hearing this. But it would be nice to hear back. But I thank you for listening. And once again, be still and know.